Hey guys, my name is Caitlin. Welcome back to Unordinary. So on this video, I'm going to be talking about how I quit my job during a freaking global pandemic, okay? Yeah, crazy, insane. Why would you do that? And yeah, I know, I get it. But I'm going to go through the backstory and kind of just go into more detail. I did touch on this subject in the beginning, my first video on YouTube, but I'm gonna be going into more depth and kind of just give you some tips on taking those next steps towards your goals and what you are actually created to do. So I'm excited about this video. If you're new here to this channel, like I said, my name is Caitlin, and on Ordinary, I help people break the boxes of their limitations and bring their full selves into everyday life. So let's dive right into the content here. So let me rewind a few years back actually. This was about 2 years ago that I graduated from college with a business degree. So excited to get in the workforce and work my way up the corporate ladder. So I got a job at one of the best companies in the US, like things you look for, like, you know, promotion, capabilities, great benefits. It checked all the boxes for me. But you know, I started working there, and shortly I just started to realize that this wasn't my full-on passion. And so basically I, was there for 2 years, and I just realized it wasn't for me. I realized that what my purpose was and what I was called to do did not fit into the scope of this company. And so, I tried to stay with the company I tried to promote, and it just was not working out. It was obvious that, this was not where God had called me. And so I was just, kind of staying put where I was, just staying in Tulsa. And then during, the pandemic hit. And so I came back to Florida to work from home for about 2.5 months. And during that time, it was just so crazy. A lot of stuff started happening. I, started researching some more on, people that had quit their jobs and pursued their dreams. And I was just like, wow, that's so cool. I wish I could do that. And just haven't given much thought to it, but I was just inspired. I was becoming more inspired. I was, working more on branding and marketing for people, which really is one of my main passions. And, just things started stirring on the inside of me. And I had this thought, the night before, this one night, I had a nitro cold brew. Like at 6 p.m., which was always a bad decision. Always. 2 a.m., couldn't go to sleep. And I just had this thought come in my head. And I was like, what if I quit my job, moved to Florida, and started the things that are actually on my heart to do? And, I thought that, and I was like, no, that's crazy. I'm just going to go to sleep, and we're not going to talk about this again. It was just a crazy thought. So, I wake up, go into work the next morning like normal. I started working at 6:45, so I woke up at 6:40, pandemic life, what it's about, working from home. And so, I just started my day, and then randomly it was like God straight up filled that office and was like, this is what I've called you to do. You need to quit your job. You need to move to Florida, and you're going to start the things that I've called you to do. Now is the time. And I was like, wow. Okay. All right. So not expecting that at all, but it was, looking back at it, there were so many things working towards that. Me being here for 2.5 months, I don't think I would have considered moving back to Florida, unless I had those months where I could actually see what my life would be like, and it would be a really good thing. So many things were working together for this moment, and it was like just the most insane thing. And so I was like, okay, like this is happening. So with that, the Lord spoke to me that this was the time. And then I got this like inner peace, and then I had this like desire put in me to actually move back to Florida. Those of you that know me know that I joked so much about never moving back to Florida. Like, my family will be the number one people to tell you that. Like, they would joke about it. I'd be like, Mom, like, Dad, you know I'm never gonna move back to Florida, right? Okay, thanks. Just kind of make sure that we're clear on that. But God had other plans. And so that was kind of the backstory. So it all kind of happened really fast. I put in my 2 weeks. I went back to Tulsa, packed my things, stayed there for a few weeks, and then moved back to Florida. And here I am basically a month later, a little less than that maybe, of being here in Florida and not having a job and building my future. There's so many people that want to have a 5-step, step process to be successful, to make your first 6 figures and stuff, but it's all, you can do all the checklist things that other people do, but at the end of the day, you have your own way, you have your own calling, you have your own purpose, and you have to do it the way the Lord calls you to do it, which a lot of times is different than other people do it, Like, I gotta be my own motivator, I gotta be my own supporter, and the Lord, of course, brings people in your life that will help you and support you, but for the most part, it's like you and God. Like, you guys are the OGs, you guys gotta figure it out together. So, it requires a lot of discipline, it requires a lot of, just being in charge and taking charge of your own life. But I'm so excited about what the future holds, and I'm very just excited about it. Like, I'm honestly still a beginner at this, and I texted someone that the other day, I feel like I'm still figuring it out, and like, that's okay. Like, I don't feel like we give ourselves permission enough to still figure things out. Like, we feel like as soon as we start something, like, we gotta be a pro. Like, at least I'm that way. I'm like, okay, if I'm not a professional at this, the second time I do it, then what the heck? Like, but giving yourself permission to actually just like be a beginner and learn, and so all of this to say, like, I just want to give like more detail, like, behind my story, my journey so far. It's very unconventional, which I'm an unconventional person, so I'm totally cool with that. But to encourage you and what you're called to do, how does this story apply to you? So just knowing your season, I think, is really important, and how the Lord is working in you to do that. Maybe it's not that you quit your full-time job right now because you can't, you have certain financial obligations. Maybe it's not quitting your job right now, but maybe it's building that website. Like, maybe it's writing that book, or starting that blog post, or creating that YouTube channel, whatever it is. Maybe it's not a huge step, but it is a step in the right direction. When I was still working at my job back then, I just yesterday thought of this, of how much I actually learned about what I'm doing now back then. Like, I was just hustling on the side, but like, I just started learning things about video editing and graphic design, and I took courses, read some books, watched a lot of YouTube videos, and I literally learned so much about what I'm doing now while I was still doing my job. And so maybe it's the small steps that you need to take to do whatever you have to do to get yourself ready for that next big step. Because here is the big kicker. Here's the big point I want to get across. You are gonna come to a crossroads eventually where you have the choice to step out or to stay in comfortability. Okay? And that time is going to come. It's going to come eventually. It comes for every person. People choose different paths. Some people choose to stay in what they know and, not risk it. But some people do risk it, and they are super successful because of it. So all I'm saying is there's going to be a crossroads eventually. I don't know what that crossroads is for you. It's different for all of us. You're going to come to a point where you're going to come to a crossroads, and God is going to open a door before you, and you're going to have to choose, okay, do I want to go this way and choose my purpose, choose my potential, or do I want to just stay where I'm at, because I'm satisfied and it's less risky and I'm comfortable here, you know? So every person is gonna come to that point in their life. So what I'm encouraging you to do is just take whatever step it is. You know that you are called to do more than what you're doing right now. You know it. Every person has something on the inside of them that they were literally made to do, and they're not doing it. And you know, like I said, maybe it's not time to fully launch what you're wanting to do, but taking steps to prepare. What do you need to learn? Do you need to learn how to edit videos? Do you need to learn how to do some basic graphic design? Like, what do you need to learn? And just freaking get at it. Shut up that self-doubt. I mean, there's days in my life where, you know, I wake up and I just gotta punch self-doubt in the face. And you're like, you know what? I'm building something amazing today. I'm creative. Like, I have these confessions that I say over myself. So these are the confessions that I look at and I say every day. The first one is, I am successful. I am a genius. I think creatively. I always have a solution. I never give up. I create wealth constantly. I always have something to give. And so these are just some things that I speak over my life every day. And that's just how I crush self-doubt. Look at those things and I declare those things and I say those things and I get on with my work because I got stuff to do. I got things to accomplish, and you know, no self-doubt is holding me back. So all this to say, like, choose your potential. Like, choose what you have to bring to the world, because we need it. The world needs it. Whether you think it's significant or not, it is. And we need your voice. We need what you're called to do. So we need what you bring to the world. So freaking bring it. If you don't, I'm coming after you. And I'm saying, hey, why didn't you do this? Okay? And it's better than living like a robot the rest of your life. And that's the direction I was heading in. A corporate robot. Beep, boop, beep, bop, bop. That just does sales and all that stuff. And that's some people's thing, but it obviously was not mine. I have not regretted what I have done one day after I left my job, because I'm choosing to do what God has called me to do, and it is the most fulfilling thing ever. Even though it's not where I want to be at all, I'm still definitely in the middle of it, you know, figuring it out as I go. And this is not the end goal. This is just the beginning. But there's nothing more thrilling than just saying yes to your potential, to God's purpose in your life, and just going after it, because you know you freaking can, and you're valuable. What you bring to the world is important. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you're launching something or, you know, stepping out in an area. I'd love to hear about it, and we can encourage each other and build each other up. That's what this is about, you know, building that community that supports each other. So I am excited to hear about all that. You are called to live in an ordinary life. Never forget that. I'll see you guys next week. Catch you later. Bye.